to the Happy Healthy Days podcast. This is Carly Spazzali here with my co-host Barbie Dupuy.
Hey everybody. It's been a minute since our last episode, but we're happy to be back. So today we're going to cover a pretty easy topic for us to talk about and something that we've been getting a lot of phone calls and a lot of questions about lately. So we figured why not release an episode to answer everybody's questions. So today's topic is going to be our injections. So at the Aspen Clinic a couple of years ago, we started doing vitamin injections to help boost the weight loss process and just to help increase the vitamins that our patients are getting, because some people have trouble taking the supplements and they might find an injections easier, whereas some people don't like the injections and they'd rather take a supplement. So everybody's different. So based on what you're interested in, we have something now for everybody, but the injections have really been a huge success in our program. Patients really love them. We've seen really great results. And honestly, we have 3 different injections, and every single one of them I could recommend based on what based on what a person is looking for. And they're all really great. But we just want to talk about kind of how the injections work. If you're a patient at the Aspen Clinic right now and you're not doing the injections, then all you would need to do is fill out a couple pieces of paperwork and we can get you started with the injections. If you are not a patient right now and you want to do injections, anyone can do injections. So you can walk in and just say, hey, I had a friend or I heard about the injections on the podcast and I want to try them. And we'll talk to you, see what you're looking for, and we can recommend which one might be best for you, what we typically do. And you just fill out some paperwork and you can come in for injections. So before we talk about our different injections, I think it's important that we explain that vitamin injections, whether you're doing them with us or doing them anywhere, they really should be given on a weekly basis. The whole point of a vitamin-based injection is to give your body these vitamins and maintain a high blood level of them, so that way your body can start to reap the benefits. So it's really not as beneficial to come in to do the say you do the injections and then
a month later you come back,
you do another one. It's not that it's going to hurt you by any means, just you're not going to get the full benefits of them. So if you're going to do that, I would almost rather you take supplements and take them every single day than to just get an injection once a month, because like I said, the whole point is to keep a high blood level. So after about a week, those vitamins are going to start to leave your system. And so you're not going to get the benefits or get the results that you want if you're not doing them on a weekly basis. So if you are able to come in weekly, then obviously the injections are a great option for you. And that's what most of our injection patients do. Now, we do have some people who have busy work schedules. They can't come in every single week, so they may come in every other week, and we'll give you a double dose of the injections to make them last a little bit longer. But just before you even hear what the injections do, just keep that in mind, that if you think you're going to be able to come in at least every other week, at least every week would be ideal, then any of our injections would be a great choice. Whereas if you can't commit to that, then maybe the supplements would be a better option. So I guess now let's talk about our injections. So we offer 3 different forms of injections here at the Aspen Clinic.
We have a Pure B12 injection, Aspen Lipo Extreme injection, and an Aspen Lipo Ultra. So typically for the injections, we just our basic protocol. We do recommend doing our injections in 2 different phases. Starting off with our Pure B12 and Lipo Extreme injection together for about 4 to 6 weeks, and then switching over to our Ultra injection. But kind of like how Barbie mentioned, we'll talk to you and kind of figure out what would be best suited for you, but that's just our basic protocol.
And Carly, why do we do phase 1 and phase 2?
We do a phase 1 and phase 2 protocol because you want to detox the body first and prepare the body for weight loss before you try to go ahead and burn that fat. You know, everyone hears the Ultra injection and it increases fat burning and they're like, heck yeah, I want to do that. But you have to remember, you have to prepare that body for weight loss, and we'll give a full rundown a little bit soon, but that Aspen Lipo Extreme injections, your full B vitamins to prepare that body for weight loss, detoxify it, regulate everything, and helps get your body ready to do that fat burning.
Okay, well, what if a person doesn't care, they don't want to do phase 1 and phase 2, and they just want to get the Ultra?
They can definitely start with the Ultra, but it's recommended to start off that Pure B12 and Lipo Extreme injection. But you can start with Ultra if you want, for sure.
Yeah, so that is how we recommend doing it because that's just how we've seen the best results. We know that detoxifying the body first before we replenish vitamins and try to, make the body work more efficiently is the best way, which is why we typically try to get our new patients to do a liver kidney cleanse before they really get started on the program or try our Lipo Plus supplement or any of our metabolism boosters, because that detoxification is really, really important. But at the end of the day, it is a patient's choice. So if you would prefer to just do the B12 or just do the extreme or just do the ultra, you can pick and choose and do it however you want.
Absolutely.
Just that is how we have seen the best results. And we are the ones who are looking at the patient's charts. We are seeing what their fat mass results are doing. So we do recommend listening to our advice because we have seen the results and we know how it works. But at the end of the day, it is up to you and your choice how you want to proceed. So with the injections, let's talk about what they do. So the Pure B12, this is just the methylated form of B12. So B12 can exist in a couple of different forms. So you have cyanocobalamin, which is B12 attached to a cyanide molecule. And this is the most common form of B12 you will see. So, for example, my grandfather his doctor was giving him B12 because he was B12 deficient. And I went and looked at the vial the doctor was prescribing, and it was the cyanocobalamin. Why would the doctor prescribe my grandfather in this instance? And a lot of you probably have family members or friends, or even maybe yourself. If the doctor gave you B12, you can go look in your cabinet and see what form they gave you, and it's probably the cyanocobalamin. So why would they give us B12 with cyanide attached? The reason why is because it's very cheap. It is the cheapest form of it. So for affordability purposes, that's what most people will get. That's what you're going to find a lot of times on the shelf.
Supplements in the shelf,
right. If you're buying something at a drugstore, chances are it's probably that form because it is the cheapest form. But the problem with that is your body has to detox that cyanide molecule out through the liver. So a lot of times it spends more time getting rid of the cyanide than actually absorbing the B12. So if you're taking, say, 5,000 micrograms of cyanocobalamin, chances are your body's not going to absorb that full 5,000. So you're not getting the full benefit. So that's the first form of B12 you see sometimes. The second form of B12 we'll see is hydroxycobalamin, which is B12 attached to a hydrogen molecule and oxygen, which this is still an okay form. So your body does have to break down the hydrogen and the oxygen attached to it. So it makes it a little bit longer lasting. And we do have that form of B12 in both the Lipo Extreme and the Lipo Ultra Plus injection. So you'll see the methylated form and that form in our Extreme and Ultra Plus injections. And then last but not least, the holy grail of B12, or the best form that you can find, is methylcobalamin, which is B12 in its methylated form. So that means that when it enters the body, it is already ready to go and your body can start to readily absorb it. So it doesn't have to methylate the B12 itself. It's already methylated and your body can start to absorb it immediately. So that's why we say, usually if you get a B12 injection, you can start to notice the benefits within that day because you're giving it to your body in that perfect form. Yeah. So our B12 injection is the methylcobalamin. It's 5,000 micrograms. And what we usually say the benefits of B12 are better sleep, better mood, better energy is the easiest way to describe it. And the reason why is because most people are deficient in B12, especially if you're over the age of 40. So when you add that essential vitamin back in, you really start to notice the benefits. B12 is one of the key ingredients to creating red blood cells. As you know, red blood cells are throughout our entire body. They're what provides our body with oxygen and delivers oxygen throughout the body. So when you're able to create more red blood cells, your body's being energized and is starting to function as it should. So it's really not that B12 is this magic thing. It's that your body starts to function as it should when it's given the vitamins that it needs to function properly. So that's why you feel the energy and the mood boost. It's because your body's actually being able to function at an ideal level. The next injection is the Lipo Extreme.
So the Lipo Extreme injection is your full B complex, your lavotropic nutrients, your L-carnitine, methionine, your choline, a whole bunch of things. So the Lipo Extreme injection has your full B complex. These B vitamins detox the body, like I said a bit earlier, prepare the body for weight loss. We have the B6, your pyridoxine, to help act as a mild diuretic. Your B3, which is your niacin, which helps with heart health. It helps with metabolism, it helps with stress levels as well. your lipotropic nutrients, remove any fat and bile from that liver and kidney. So that's really the first step, like we said, we want you to try. Detoxifying those organs and getting that body ready for weight loss. So those lipotropic nutrients will help with that. And then we have the methionine,
choline, L-carnitine. The full B complex is really, really beneficial because, like we said, most people are deficient in B vitamins. So
Correct.
when you add those back, that's when you start to really feel that energy and mood boost, especially with females. B vitamins also help with hormonal balance. They help to flush out any fluid retention. So they also are essential in protein, fat, and carbohydrate metabolism. So B vitamins really have tons and tons of benefits. I would say probably one of my favorite things in the LipoExtreme injection is the B3 GABA complex. If you have any stress or anxiety and you ever meet with me, I'm probably going to recommend that you take GABA. And GABA is gamma aminobutyric acid, which basically, to make it simple, it is the calming agent in our brain. So that's what tells our brain to calm down. So if you're very stressed, or adrenaline pumps us up, and that's the inhibitory part. This helps and it's calming. So if you're ever really stressed out or having some anxiety, you can take some GABA, whether I like the chewable form personally. I find it's more effective than the capsule, but I think it's really awesome that it's in this injection because a lot of our patients do struggle with anxiety or depression. So to be able to give them this on a weekly basis really, really helps to just kind of bring those levels down in a natural way without medication. So I would say that that's one of our favorite things. But like we said, we do recommend doing the B12, so you're getting that methylated form B12, and doing the extreme together for 4 to 6 weeks, and then we move to the Ultra Plus. So what is I think a big question we get is, what's the difference between the extreme and the Ultra Plus? Well, the Ultra honestly is kind of like the B12 and the Extreme put together. So the Ultra has the same lipotropics that are in the LipoExtreme. It's actually got more B12 than our pure B12 injection because it's got 5,000 micrograms of the methylated, so exactly what's in our B12, plus some of the hydroxycobalamin. So you're getting that long-lasting effect too. And it's also got a metabolism booster called forskolin in it. Forskolin helps to increase cyclic AMP, which what that does is basically makes reactions happen faster in the body. So when things are happening faster, that means that your metabolism is functioning faster. So that metabolism booster is really the key element of the Ultra Plus and why we want to detox first, because say your body's full of toxins and you start to speed up processes in the body, it can start to toxify the body faster because all those toxins are present in the bloodstream or present in the liver. So when we remove that, it helps everything else, digestion, everything to function a little bit more efficiently. So that's when you start to see an increase in your BMR. So typically we'll see patients' basal metabolic rates start to go up. They're able to build muscle a little bit quicker, and then their fat mass will drop off even faster. So that's why we recommend doing it that way. Again, it's not going to hurt you to start with the Ultra by any means, because like we said, those lipotropics are still in there, so you are still going to get some detoxification, but depending what kind of lifestyle you've been living up until this point. So if you have a really, really poor diet, if you drink a ton of alcohol, if you've been taking a ton of medications, if you know that your body's full of toxins, then I really would recommend doing our phase 1 and phase 2, but it is up to you.
Another thing is a lot of patients who we say are weaning off that LipoExtreme injection and are switching over to Lipo Ultra injection. My clinic and my girls, we personally like to recommend our B Complete supplement along with that, so you still are getting that full B complex of vitamins constantly.
Yeah, I would say that maybe if you want to start with the Ultra Plus, okay, but maybe let's do the B Complete too, just so that you are getting that full B complex like you would in the Extreme. In terms of the injections, you really can't go wrong. We have patients who will swear by all three. Everybody can swear by a different thing. We've seen really, really great results. I think maybe to cover some of the questions that we get. So Carly works in Baton Rouge. She does the highest volume of injections of all 9 of our clinics, and her patients have done really, really well. So what do you think are some of the most common questions that you get regarding the injections?
The most common ones is there any negative side effects? And I would say the answer is no, just because they're vitamins, we can always benefit from them. Of course, like any injection, there might be a little swelling or soreness at the injection site, but
I mean, with any injection, I guess a big question is, how big's the needle? Does it hurt? I don't like shots. So, usually what I say, if anyone's doing a vitamin injection for the first time, you may bruise, you may not, you may bleed, you may not. It could be sore, it may not, but usually what you do the first time is typically what you do every time. The injections are given in the upper arm, so in the deltoid muscle. So we usually try to get you to relax, because if you tense up, it's going to hurt. And we try to switch up the arm, so that way, if you get sore, it doesn't affect you every single week, but every person's different. I think another question that we get is, how soon will I see results?
Yeah, that's a big one.
I think that it's really up to you. If you can't expect these injections to just be the magic potion.
Yeah.
If you come in and just get the injections every week, yes, of course they're going to help and you're going to see some benefits, but
if you're not changing your lifestyle, you're still having these same poor habits and poor routines.
They can only do so much type of thing, So if you come in and start doing the injections, but you're still drinking soda and eating fried foods and drinking alcohol all the time and not changing your lifestyle, then you're not going to get the benefits that you would if you would follow our nutrition program and drink plenty of fluids and do all of the, exercise and do all of the other things that go hand in hand with the healthy lifestyle. So it's really up to you how you're going to see the benefits. We do really recommend that if you're going to come in to get injections and you're not already a patient with us, to do your body composition when you come in, so that way you can monitor your fat mass and see that they are working for you. Especially if you're coming in every week, we recommend for our patients to weigh in weekly. So even if you're not a patient, to weigh in weekly is just going to help you see the results that you want. Yes. Other questions that we get, I'm trying to think. I think how long are you supposed to do them? It's really up to you. As long as you're continuing to see results, I would continue to do them until you reach your goal.
I've had patients for the past year and a half come. I've had patients that just done the 8 weeks, their rounds, and they feel great and they can do it on their own. Sometimes they'll come back for a B12 boost, but
it's really up to you. And I think we have a lot of patients who are not necessarily trying to lose weight, who just want to maintain, or they just want some vitamins, or they want the energy boost. So based on what your goals are, I guess, is really the answer to that question of when you should stop doing them. I think another thing is there anybody that the injections are not good for?
I would say definitely if you're pregnant, I would consult with your physician. I know pregnant women can do B12. Maybe not the lipo-extreme injection, but again, I would just
maybe not the ultra with that metabolism booster in it, but I think the B12, and I feel like the extreme would be okay, but I think you should definitely consult with your OB just to be sure. And I think we have had people who have pernicious anemia that the B12 is great for, and there's other things
like people with diabetes, because that lipo-extreme has chromium picolinate in it to help regulate insulin levels.
And the thing is that the good thing about B vitamins is that they are water soluble, so if the body perceives an excess, it's just going to eliminate it through the urine. So even if, say, you have adequate levels of certain B vitamins, then that's fine. It's not going to hurt you. Your body's just going to eliminate it. But chances are 90% of our patients are deficient. So I would say it's very beneficial. Now, what do you think that someone who would be the best candidate for injections? Is it a new patient? Is it a refill? Is it a restart? Is it everybody? Who do you think would benefit the most from doing the injections?
I would say really anyone who's trying to take control of their health, because the one you can control in your life is your health. Definitely new patients for sure, because that's the best time to start, is getting started on a program before you've taken any medication. But also our refill patients, our plateau patients who've done the medication for a while and they don't know what else to do. Maybe we can start to implement these injections to be that extra boost, that extra jump start to get us back on track.
Yeah, especially because we all know, and we tell all of our patients, there is no magic pill out there. So the medication is designated only to curb your appetite. That is it. It is not going to make you lose weight. It's not going to help you burn fat. It's not going to really give your body any benefits. So doing the injections, not only are you getting these added vitamins that you're probably not getting through your diet, because even if you are eating really clean and really healthy, healthy, you're still not going to get all the vitamins that you need. So that's why it's so important to supplement or to use injections to add those vitamins back in. But I think one of the best things about the injections for any patient or any person in general is the accountability that they provide. So if you're going to do the injections the right way, you have to come in every week. So if you're coming in every week, you might as well weigh in. If you're going to have to weigh in every week, then chances are you're going to stick to your diet, you're going to stick to your calorie plan or your eating routine because you don't want to come in and see bad results on the scale. So I think that injections provide the accountability that all of our patients need, but especially someone who's a new patient and just getting started, or someone who's struggling and they've hit a plateau or they're having trouble sticking to the program. The accountability that the injections provide is really, really beneficial. And I think that a lot of patients who've done the injections before, they get into the routine of coming in every single week. So even if they want to stop the injections, they still come in every week to weigh in, just because it's now part of it's part of their weekly routine. So it's really a win-win situation. But I hope that we cleared up some of the questions that you have about injections. All of our injections are listed on our website. So if you go to theaspenclinic.com, you can go to the injection page and you'll see them all listed there, all of the ingredients, and you can find more information. If you're interested in scheduling an appointment for injection, you can call any of our clinics. We have 9 locations throughout Louisiana, and you can also schedule your appointments online. So again, you can go to aspenclinic.com and you'll see a little schedule appointment button, and you can schedule your appointments, and you can also walk in. So if there's any Aspen Clinic location that's in your area, you can walk in at any time and say, hey, I want to do an injection, or hey, I have some questions about the injections, and we would be happy to help you. So if you have any further questions, you can contact us on Instagram at the Aspen Clinic, and we look forward to seeing you soon for your next injection.